What's up, guys? This is for Days, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can exploit a function inside of the TI-Nspire CAS model calculators to succeed on the SAT, PSAT, and AP exams. More specifically, it's the solve function, and I'm going to be using it in a couple of questions that are very, very deep with algebra, so that way they're not as confusing. So here's the calculator policy page, just to show you guys that I didn't load this before. I'm going to go ahead and reload the page, and then hit Texas Instruments, and there it is, TI-Nspire CX2 CAS. Any CX CAS calculator this will work with, but I have the newest model. These are like European imports of the same thing, so I don't even know what these are, but this is the US model right here, and that's the one we're going to be using in today's video. I do have the physical handheld of this, but I didn't want to make an awkward hand cam video, so I'm using the desktop app instead, but it will look very similar to this. And if you are at the test center or taking the test, at home perhaps, you would probably be using the handheld device. Let's go back to the practice test now. And we're going to be doing number 2. If y equals kx, where k is a constant, and y equals 24 when x equals 6, what is the value of y when x equals 5? Yuck. Lots of information here. So let's go ahead and dummy this down just a little bit. I'm going to zoom in so we can kind of focus on this question more. So we know that y is 24. So right away, we can start creating our equation. And remember that our model is y equals kx. So menu 3, 1. We know that 24 is y, so we'll plug in 24 for y, and then we'll put our equal sign. We don't know what k is, so we'll keep k as k. Since k is a constant, we don't know what it is yet. We need to solve for it. And then we know that 6 is x, so you could put 6k to represent x, so x would be here, or you could put times x on this calculator. So either way works. So we're going to do it as close to the original equation as possible. So we're going to do k times 6, and that should give us 4 when I do this, comma k, and k equals 4, because 6 times 4 is 24. You could do that without a calculator, but if you are really that stupid, this will work. So if you're completely stumped on this question, you could use this as a last resort if you do have this calculator in the test center with you. Now let's go ahead and do this again with the second part. Now what the second part's asking is, what is y when x equals 5? So we know that k is now 4, so we can replace 4 for k, and then change x from 6 to 5, and then make y the unknown, and then solve for y, which to solve for a certain variable, you do comma y, and then hit enter. Y is 20, so the answer is C. Bam, we're fucking done with number 2. Now, there's a couple more questions I want to show you guys. We're going to do number 4 next, and it says, if 16 plus 4x is 10 more than 14, what is the value of 8x? So what that means is that 16 plus 4x equals 24, because 10 more than 14 is a fancy way of saying 24. So let's go ahead and put that into the calculator. Solve 16 plus 4x equals 24, solving for x. And we now know that x equals 2, but we're not done just yet, because it says what is the value of 8 times x. So this is actually kind of a trick question. But this is a simple fix. We just do this. We go back to this answer here, and then add it here. 2 times 8, and 8 times x, and that'll give us 8x equals 16. So that means the value of 8x is 16. The answer is C again. So the answer so far, we have C and C. And then we're going to go down a bit more to another question that's very algebra deep. For what value of n is the absolute value of n minus 1 plus 1 equal to 0? And to do that, we just do the solve equation again. You can either type out solve, which is awkward on the handheld device, or you can do menu 3, 1 to do the solve equation, or the solve function, I should say. And then you hit this button to get the absolute value symbol and the box to put your values in. N minus 1 plus 1 equals 0, solving for n. And it says false, because there's actually no value of n that satisfies this equation. The answer will be D. And then there's one more question. 11. Which of the following numbers is not a solution of the inequality 3x minus 5 is greater than or equal to 4x minus 3? So we can do solve 3x minus 5, and then control equal sign to get the greater than or equal to symbol, 4x minus 3, solving for x, and it says that x is less than or equal to negative 2. So what that means is that any value that is greater than or equal to negative 2 will not be a solution. So the only one that satisfies that condition of not being a solution is actually a negative 1. Everything else will either be equal to or greater than negative 2. So in order to prove this, I'll actually do it some way that the calculator will actually allow you to test it. So we do this. Sorry, it's not letting me import it really that well. Okay, there we go. Just take the equation out and then change x out for negative 1 here. -1, -1, false. And then the rest of them will say true. -2, -2, true, -3, -3, true, -5, and -5, true. So we've just proven that the only correct answer to this question is A, because it's the only solution that is not part of this inequality. So I hope that helped you out. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this perhaps, and maybe I'll show you guys how to do more questions like this with this overpowered calculator. Peace out.